All right. What's up, guys? Ray Yerg's back here with Week 1 edition of Third and Long Pick 6 Show. Thank you for joining in. Really appreciate the support. Real quick before we get into it, just go follow me on Twitter at The Real Ray Yergs, and you can also follow me at the same name on my YouTube channel where most of the content will be uploaded. So go check it out. I did put out a video earlier this week on my 2022 NFL predictions, division winners, playoffs, and Super Bowl winner. So go check that out. Don't forget to do that, all right? We'll get right into it. So week 1. So, week 1's always going to be a tough week. Line's been out for a while. Players coming and going. We had training camp and we had injuries and all that stuff. So we'll see what we can do and see if we can find some winners, and let's get into it. So first pick of the week, I am taking the Ravens minus 6.5 on the road against the Jets. I know it's a little bit contrarian, but I feel that Lamar Jackson's going to play at a level that he is going to try and prove himself even more this year than he already has over his career already, with the Ravens not being able to pay him or come to a contract agreement or anything of that nature. Recent reports that he did turn down the contract that they did offer him. But with that being said, I think that he is just going to unload this season all around, and the Ravens might end up lucking out if they don't decide to franchise tag him and whatnot. But at minus 6.5, getting it below a touchdown, I like the pick here. I like what we could do. Zach Wilson's not going to be able to play for the Jets, so that's going to really hurt the QB play. Plus, Joe Flacco. What can he do? And the Ravens usually in the first couple of weeks of the season, they tend to play really well. It's really the middle of the late season where they really start to struggle. So I do think that they're going to be able to get a blowout victory here. I do think that that they'll be able to get that. Like I said, under a touchdown, minus 6.5. I'll take that all day. Browns heading on the road to Carolina. This one's a tough one. It's basically almost a pick 'em. Baker Mayfield's got a lot to prove, especially against his former team. But I like the Browns in this matchup at minus 1.5. The Panthers really just don't show enough to me that they can do anything, really. Even with Baker Mayfield as the quarterback, I don't really believe in this team. I think Matt Rule's on the hot seat here. I think with Brissett, that if you go look at my 2022 predictions, you'll get more as to why I do like the Browns. I believe that Brissett can do enough here and throughout the season until Watson comes back, especially with the talent that the Browns have on the team. So minus 1.5 here. I like it. I'm taking Browns minus 1.5. Later window, Raiders, Chargers. I love this. Screams points. I love the over 52.5 in this situation. This is going to be just a shootout. I believe, Adams is going to probably put up. I think that the Carr and Adams are going to touch for at least 2 touchdowns in this one. Adams is going to have a big game debuting for the Raiders here. Could really go either way. Like I said, if you go look at my video on YouTube for the predictions, you'll see some more in depth as to these two teams, as why I like these two teams as well going forward. But I like the over here. I think it screams points. I'm going to take the over 52.5. Same goes for the next game that I got. I got the Chiefs and the Cardinals. I love over 53.5 in this one. Early season matchups, I like taking overs, especially with the bigger games. It's really when you get past week 4, 5, 6 that the defenses start to make the adjustments that they need to against the teams. So with 2 big high-powered offenses here, Chiefs, Cardinals, over 53.5. I love it. I love these two teams going forward throughout the rest of the season as well. It's going to be really exciting to see what Murray can do coming off of a bad stretch down the road from last season. So I really do think that they rebound huge this season. And the Chiefs and Mahomes, they improved on wide receiver, I think, even with losing Hill. They got younger, they got faster in different ways that suits their offense. So I like the Chiefs. I love over 53.5 on this one. Next pick. This one's a tough one for me. Jags and the Redskins, or the Commanders, we should say. Well, we can't say the Redskins here. You might get in trouble, might get censored, so be careful with that. But needless to say, I don't think Washington can do enough in this one. I like the Jags plus 2.5 on the road. It's really an interesting play here. It kind of says to you that Washington really isn't that good enough to even be favored by at least more than a field goal at 3.5. What does that tell you about the Washington side, and can Carson Wentz actually do enough to get this team back to where it was? I don't think so. The reason why Colts got rid of Carson Wentz, which I'm a Colts fan, so needless to say on that, let's not get started there. But I do think the Jags have done enough over the offseason. I think that they improved themselves a little bit on the defensive side. And, at plus 2.5, I like it here on the road. Like I said, it tells me that Washington should have been favored at 3.5 or 4, but that tells you a lot to where the line is right now at plus 2.5. So I'm taking the Jags at plus 2.5. Last pick to round it out, going to circle back to Dolphins and Patriots. Patriots are going to be, they always struggle going to Miami, especially. So I like the Dolphins here at minus 3.5. They have a lot to prove, and I think that they're going to prove it in a big way against the Patriots to start off the season. With all the improvement, Tua has a big chip on his shoulder. He is going to show what he can do. He's healthy with the acquisition of Hill. Their offense is going to be very, very powerful. They're the second runner in the AFC East, I think, behind Buffalo. So this is going to be a huge Week 1 statement for the Dolphins. I like them at minus 3.5. And I just don't think the Patriots are going to be able to do enough this season, especially with the minimal things that they got going on. Mac Jones, sophomore year, could have his sophomore woes. But it's going to be tough for the Patriots. If you go look at my video, you'll see a little bit more in depth as to that, as well as to why some of the things with these teams I like and don't like. So I love the Dolphins in this spot. Big Week 1 statement, especially with Buffalo on how they handled LA the other day. I think they're going to have more of an edge on this as well. Not just trying to factor that stuff in, but this is going to be really good. They're a much more talented team, so I like them. Really quick on the recap. So Ravens minus 6.5, Browns minus 1.5, Chargers Raiders over 52.5, Chiefs Cardinals over 53.5, Jags plus 2.5. This one's probably my favorite pick. As you know, if you think about it, as bad of a game as it could be, it's probably my favorite pick. And the Dolphins minus 3.5. All spreads are courtesy of the FanDuel Sportsbook, which you can go and find now. And really appreciate the support. Don't forget to go check me out. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on YouTube for all my content. And let's bang some winners.